welcome to the Author Spotlight. My name is Arilia Winn. I'm the owner and operator of Winn Publications. Good afternoon. If you don't mind introducing yourself, telling us your name, and a bit about what you do full-time outside of writing.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Dalvin Sejour. I'm a software engineer at a fashion company named Stitch Fix, where we send personalized clothes to people based on the style profile that they fill out. So basically give us your size, weight, and fit, and we are in the business of helping you find the clothes that you love.
Nice! Wow! How did you get into that?
So it's funny, before I even worked there, I didn't know anything about this, but I came to that company through a program called Code 2040 that helps Black and Latinx students get jobs in tech, and that's how I was able to find out about that opportunity.
Awesome. So how do you, I guess, so most of your work, that kind of work is done at work. It's not a whole lot to where you're having, I guess I'm wondering, does it cut into your time outside of work, or?
No, it's funny because it's a nice work-life balance, because I do what I do at work, and I'm still an engineer at home. So I also run this digital design company called Dalvin Digital Design, where I help people build websites and do graphics. So it's work isn't so stressful, and I'm able to work on other endeavors at the same time.
Nice. That's cool. So then tell us about your book and how does it fit into what you have going on in your career?
So my book is called The Guidebook to Securing High-Profile Internships. I wrote it in a space where I was at a job where, before I worked at my current job, where I wasn't fulfilled and wasn't really it was a contracting position, so I had a lot of time to work on the book outside of my typical work. So I basically was reflecting on my 4 years of college and how I was able to get to where I am now. Basically making the abstract concrete in terms of helping people get jobs post-college, because that's one of the biggest issues that we're facing now in society. You got people paying tens of thousands of dollars but can't get a job after they graduate.
Right. Yeah. That's a lot of people are, even myself, I don't want to say I struggled with finding a job, but I did struggle with finding a job in my field. So does your book talk about that at all?
Yeah. So basically, I talked about how basically it's the process through my lens of how I went from not knowing what I wanted to getting experience through internships to figure out what I wanted to do to get me started after graduating, that. You know, that post grad life when you don't know what you want to do, but you want to land in a good spot.
Yeah, definitely. Wow, okay, that sounds awesome. We might have to check that out. So then, tell us, what was your toughest part in becoming an author or in writing this book?
I feel as though what I realized was that there isn't any resource. You go on YouTube and all the authors that you would see were Caucasian and stuff like that. So there wasn't a real source where I could get information from my people, because I wanted to trust the process, and I felt it was hard putting it all together, because there's a lot more beyond just writing the book. As you know, it's the formatting, how to target the right audience that the audience that you might not even know. Basically, a business, essentially. like when you're like trying to publish a book.
Yeah.
So like figuring out all that and like the legality and like royalties behind everything.
Oh wow. So did you go with a publisher or did you self-publish?
I self-published.
Okay, nice. And so where did you get your information from on how to just go about the whole process?
So thankfully I had a friend named Shelby Paris.
Okay.
Named like the hip hop author on Instagram.
Yeah.
He wrote like when I was just trying to just like decide to write, he had like like 3 books out already. Mm-hmm. So I was going to him for like inspiration and help on like how to navigate it and things of that nature. And he was basically my mentor throughout this because he was the only one, the black author I know in my circle. So I would just like pop little questions to him and ask him for inspiration. But then, like, even after all the information you get from people, it's like a point where you just have to do it yourself. Which is kind of like what separates like wannabe authors from actual authors, because it's like you gotta do it. Like nobody can't write it for you or put your thoughts down to the paper.
Right. Wow, that's so cool. So I recently, a couple weeks ago, I was talking to Shelby. He's a pretty cool dude. So that's great that you guys got a chance to work together.
Yeah, he's awesome, dude.
Yeah. Okay. So then, is there any lessons or just advice that you can offer to other writers who might be listening?
I would say there's a lot of technology at your disposal to just make this happen. Like, if you really have a problem with writing, there's like certain techniques you can use, like just jotting things down in your notes or using Google Drive to like you speak and it writes the words for you. If it's hard for you to just like write that down, like your words into thoughts, and just get a blank like Google Doc and just start typing like without thought, because that will at least help you hold yourself accountable because you have stuff like on paper rather than it just being thoughts in your head. So like as soon as you could get your thoughts on paper, you'll feel more like drawn to like continue with it just than it being something in your head.
Yeah, that's definitely a technique that's also has worked for me is I spend a lot of time alone. So like in the car, if I'm not listening to a podcast, I got my I don't know if you have, I think if you have an iPhone, you might have it. And just anybody who's listening also, if you have a voice memo app on your phone, man, oh my God, I've been using that sucker like, I got to add this to my book. And so I just real quick, like, will turn on my voice memo. Nobody's in the car with me, so you know what I mean? And nowadays people have like their Bluetooth set up, so I don't really look crazy in the car talking to myself. And at the same time, I'm not too worried about that. But that really helps a lot, like the voice memo app at least, and I can use that and then take it and transcribe what I said and just to get it out of my head,
Exactly, like because you might not have that idea like when you're ready to stop or like when you're back home. So if you could just get that like bit of inspiration and just jot it down, that could be like the difference between your book being like good to great. So I really resonate with that as well.
Yeah. Cool. So then I want to know, has there ever been a moment, I guess, during your author journey or just ever in your life where you felt like you wanted to quit? And then if so, how did you handle that?
Yeah, so especially for this author journey, because I was conflicted with whether like my thoughts were worth being like added or contributed to the space I was speaking on, like because everybody has the ability to get a job. So it was like, okay, I'm not special. Like, people are getting jobs and internships in their careers every day. But, like, so is my voice worth being added to this realm? But what I realized is that I was doing my research on Amazon, and there wasn't any books like what I wrote. Like, you go on Amazon and search internships, the only thing you're seeing is, like, the internship movie. Or you're seeing, like, I have this tool called Publisher Rocket that lets me see, like, the keywords and stuff for books. So I did my little market research, and I'm like, wow, like, there's not really any books in this space that will, especially for people of color, that will help them figure out the in and outs of getting a position. So there's a market for it, and that's when I was like, this is something that is going to be worth it.
Yeah.
So I was really discouraged at first, but then after a while, I'm like, at the end of the day, this is going to be an artifact of me.
Yeah. Wow. Definitely. You made me think of two things. So you made me think of that quote by Toni Morrison. Like, if you are looking for a book but can't find it, write it, or something like that. I can't remember the exact quote, how it goes, and then two, say the name of that keyword search program that you just said. What is it called? Publisher Rocket?
Yeah, Publisher Rocket. So it's like, it's this dope tool, right? That it's $100, and it's not even a subscription. It allows you to do keyword search on Amazon books.
Okay.
And like see like what other authors are in your market and how much their books are making, and like the keywords you need to put in so that you can get more viewers on your book. So it's like a way to manipulate like Amazon search for books and ebooks, so that you're like top of mind when it comes to like your book.
Nice. Okay, see, ladies and gentlemen, I don't say this in every episode, but I'm gonna say it now. Get your pen and paper out. Be taking notes. There's so much free information being spilled on the author spotlight that it's ridiculous. You know, people pay for consultations and things, and we're just dropping this information for free. So, hey, thank you so much for sharing that, because I'm like, oh, wow, I never heard of that. I'm definitely going to look into it. Absolutely. So, yeah.
It's like, like, you're getting free gems right now, because I wish I had, like, some guidance or even knew about this when I was trying to write, because, like, honestly, it felt like I was in a, like, black box trying to write, because it feels like writing in general feels kind of very elitist, like traditionally, like, oh, you need to be an established author in order to even put a book out or stuff like that. But like Amazon and like Ingram Spark, Barnes and Noble are making it so that anybody could be an author. So like, put your story out there. Like, you'll be surprised at what you'll find, or who will find your work and like will fall in love with it.
Yeah, definitely. So, question, because this was something like in the beginning in the beginning of this season, we talked about it heavy, and I just kind of want to bring it back. We talked about like the lack of support. You know, a lot of authors say, man, you know, I don't really have a whole lot of support. I was expecting support from my family, but I don't really know. Like, what's your take or your experience with support for your book and just your journey as a whole?
I would say, like, I had some family members that would support and friends, but like what I expected versus what I thought is like, wow, like, it's really a long path. Like, even like just sharing a post about your book or something isn't that hard, and I found like I had to like kind of break teeth in order to like get people to check it out, even though I know this is material that would benefit people. So I had to just like get like basically like just I'll prove it to you that how like this book is worth it. Like so sometimes on my Instagram, which is official Dalvin J, you could see me posting like, oh, this superintendent bought 50 copies, or oh, this person said they're pledging 10 copies to show that this is gonna take off. And like, if you waited until like you wait and see, like I'm gonna prove y'all wrong for not supporting me. And it sucks that I had to be in that mindset to do this, but it's kind of like that's how I feel like I have to be in order to keep myself going when it comes to it.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what's funny? So that what you were saying made me think of something that her name is Daya. I interviewed her in season 1. She was actually my second person I interviewed as a part of the Author Spotlight. And she said something so cool, and it made me think of what you said too. Is like, so back in the day, Michael Jordan, when he first got started with shoes, nobody would really buy them. And now it's like he's bringing these retros back and they're hundreds of dollars. And it's like, wow, how crazy. But like sometimes it just goes that way. Like even like the biggest celebrities that we know about today, they all had maybe that rough start where they didn't really have a whole lot of support. But like the whole, like the more of the stories, like they kept going and eventually they got the support that they needed and things picked up and they just blew up out of control. And I'm like, yeah, I definitely can see, you know, what you're talking about, how about, like, you have to prove yourself, but, you know, just be encouraged, keep going, like, I think that's cool, and definitely if anybody's listening, you know, and is feeling kind of the same way, like, man, I have to prove myself, I gotta work hard, you know, it's hard to get support, keep going. A lot of times, people will not get on board until other people get on board. Like, it's so crazy. Like, I look at Instagram and just some of the social media, like, people follow people who other people follow. And it's like, why does it happen like that? I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, and the gem that I'm gonna drop now is like, your book doesn't just die with you. It lives on. Like, it's like a product that's like, it's like a legacy platform. Like it was different. Like I'm used to selling digital products like web development and stuff to people like that. Okay. But having a physical product that like I have and I could take with me anywhere just allows you to just get unlimited money. I remember seeing your post, right? And it was like how much money you need to make like $1 million. And like if you just sell like 10 copies or 20 copies a month or something like that, or a week, like what the projection is. And like I'm all like every day I'm on my like Amazon Kindle platform or like LinkedIn just talking to like people, specifically for me, like talking to like superintendents or like teachers, because you never know when somebody's like, yeah, I want 100 copies of your book or $1,000 copy of your book, and that's like, and you could still keep a day job. It's just like, you never know. Like somebody bought 48 copies of my book and they just said, I found you on Amazon. And I was like, wow.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing. Okay, so then let me ask you this, other than just like the sales and like the legacy piece of it, what other things keep you going? Maybe give us 2 more. What keeps you motivated and, you know, keep you pushing at this thing?
I feel as though what keeps me pushing is that I know I wouldn't be able to be where I am in like my early career success with like finding the job that I love if it wasn't for people pouring into me. So I just want to be able to replicate that kind of process that I experienced, even if it works with 1 or 2 people, but that could change somebody's life and they could go out here and like change the world, and that's just if they read my book. So I'm like, and I've already had people tell me that the knowledge I've dropped in my book helped them get a job or internship. So I feel as though now it's like, this is my way of kind of like helping the world. Because now I'm doing a lot of, now that I have the book as a platform, I'm doing more virtual presentations. People are willing to just have me come speak to their students because I'm kind of like, I'm trying to be a leader in the space of just like decentralizing tech and just allowing like more people of color to be in this space. So if I'm able to enable that, then just by just speaking for 30, 45 minutes, or you just take a few hours to read a page out of my book, then that feels good to me. And I don't feel like a narcissist, like working in this space then. Or giving this knowledge, because it's cheap knowledge at the end of the day.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. So then, you shared so much information with us. I'm so grateful. But is there anything else that you have or want to offer to the writer and author community that's listening?
I would say don't forget to trademark your stuff, because and keep a record of how much you paid for putting into your book initially, because you might think, oh, I didn't know how much it would cost to do a book, because I'm like, oh, it's just virtual, so I'm gonna pay zero to nothing. That's wrong. So you don't want somebody to copy your secret sauce because you didn't believe in yourself, and now somebody else is publishing your work. So get those as soon as, keep a record of what you've done, and keep a record of what you've done, and keep your trademark, because you never know, your book will pop, and you'll be sad that somebody stole it because you didn't lock it down in the beginning. That's
all the way right, because it's so crazy. Somebody else said something about that. They said, they were sharing their idea, but this is the thing, ideas can't be copyrighted or trademarked. So if you got something on paper, be careful who you have editing it. Definitely get that copyright in place, protect yourself. Really quick, there's a way to copyright your stuff, even if you don't have the $85 to do it. I want to say the correct way, only because I don't have the exact term to use. But another way,
the poor man's copyright.
Exactly. Talk about that. You go ahead and share. How can we get that done?
So the poor man's copyright is essentially you using the Postal Service as a way to record that you had this idea originally. So you would stamp a copy of your book, your transcript or your book, and have it sent to your address, and then and you would keep it sealed, so that could serve as a copy that you had this idea, and nobody can take it from you.
Exactly. There you go. So if you got a few dollars for a postage and you could do that, get it done. Get it done. Definitely protect yourself. Protect your work. Absolutely. All right. Well, hey, you know what? I have had a great time. It's been a pleasure.